Are getting ready to start up the draft here. In fact, it's already started here. Omega Gaming Unleashed gonna be on the blue side, One Brain Boys on the red side, and some similar bands once again gracing our wonderful draft lull. Ivern going to be taken away, and the Olaf once again. I imagine that we're going to see some of the same bands that we're going to have coming out here. But I do want to see One Brain Boys maybe ban away the Udyr. That did seem like a little bit of a problem for them. Currently, so far, though, things are staying relatively the same. No real divergence as far as the bans go. And I think that's perfectly fine if you do decide to keep the bans the same here. But I think that in response to that, you're going to want to change up the composition maybe a little bit more to enable yourself to have maybe a little bit more priority in these lanes.
Yeah, and again, if you're at the side of Omega Gaming Unleashed, there's absolutely no reason to change. You completely stopped game number 1, so just run it back with the same thing, get the first pick, and for the side of One Brain Boys, again, get some more priority. Have maybe Johnny Esports on a playmaker. Have instead of trying to go for these like just make it simple. Let's see the Mal fight. I want to see that.
Yeah.
Press R.
Ease of execution.
Kill. Yeah. Make it as simple as possible. Make it so that you can execute it as easily as possible, and then just try to get the lead early. And that's all you can do right now. Because again, that game looked really hard to win, just because it felt like in every situation, like I was watching and like they were only, it was like 3-0, but like one Omega Game Unleashed was like out of 4K gold lead at like 12 minutes.
Okay, so I do like this change already. You're picking up the Caitlyn here, known as one of League of Legends' most infamous bottom lane bullies when it comes to the AD carry role. Massive range advantage. And honestly, yeah, she has a little bit of a mid-game power trough that's discussed here and there, but still a wonderful late-game carry as well. Maokai as well, if that is paired up with Caitlyn, can be an amazing option with those roots to be able to set those targets into place, but also I think is perfectly fine up towards the top side as well. So I do already like this change here. Maokai has some great engage, has some great disengage as well. So One Brain Boys, I think, drafting pretty smartly here with their first 2 picks. The Udyr, though, going to get picked right back up here by Fallen Artemis. He felt really strong about this pick. And I actually love the Sipper pick into the Caitlyn. I mean, it's a counter in its truest forms, just simply because you can sit there and you can walk over any trap you want. Just put up the spell shield and you're going to be a-okay in that lane. Additionally, if that is the Maokai on the bottom side of the map, you do have time to react to the Maokai with the spell shield. So I think that should be pretty solid. Vi, though, going to get picked up as the jungle option here for King's Entourage.
Yeah, and you're 100% right. The Sivir Seraphine lane, Sivir's able to do so well against the Caitlyn Maokai, but I do like what One Brain Boys is doing. Caitlyn Maokai probably right now is probably the most lane dominant AD carry support pairing, just because of how strong Maokai is in the lane. Caitlyn with that range advantage is going to be able to get poke off, and if you can't, ease of execution. If we're making it simple possible, win lane, win game, right? That's all you need to do. Break towers, get early gold advantage. You have more items than them early. You win the early fights, and maybe you just scale it through. And I do like the Vi pick again. A little bit of that Gouda. If we're gonna go spicy, make it turn it up the heat. Vi is really strong with the items right now. I know she does really well with the Eclipse. She does well with Triforce as well. So a lot of different builds paths. She can do a lot of work. And again, if we're doing ease of execution, Vi presses R on this person, that person dies. It even has like a bright red light. It's like a massive dart gets put on the back of your head. That's who you gotta focus, and make it simple. Zyra?
Yeah, Zyra actually possibly coming up here. Yeah, one of the most tried and true bottom lanes that's been around. I actually was watching a VOD from a couple years back of Cord JJ when he was still on Samsung, and he was one of the first players to pick up Zyra in the World Championship so many years ago. But it's always exciting to see this pairing, because it is a bot lane pairing, tale as old as time, where you have this Caitlyn and the Zyra just able to root down a target, keep you locked and stunned forever. And I think it's a good counter into maybe the Sivir here, where she's going to have the spell shields available. So maybe it allows you to set up maybe a little bit more of a window of opportunity when that spell shield is down. But the Gangplank going to be the option up towards the top side of the map, with this Maokai possibly going up to the top lane as well. Should be a pretty good pairing, I think, for the Gangplank. So he'll have a little bit of pressure up towards the top side. Karma can actually still be flexed towards the mid lane or the support role, depending on where the Seraphine will ultimately end up. And the last and final pick, going to go over here to the mid laner of the One Brain Boys. So whatever Bread Sheeran wants to pick up here, it is going to be the Lucian, maybe, hovered here. And this gets really, really, really interesting. Oh, okay, it gets even more interesting. We get the Zed. We get the Zed, Gunjin.
We're going spicy. Turn it up to 10, and
it's a spicy
you mentioned
Gouda.
That One Brain might be in the right place right now. It's bouncing around all these heads, but somebody figured it out, because they picked the Caitlyn Maokai. It kind of baits the Sivir pick from OGU. Obviously, Sivir's not that bad into the Caitlyn matchup. It does get outranged very heavily, but Sivir into Zyra is actually really brutal. She can obviously spell shield the root, but the range advantage that Zyra does have over the Sivir can make that lane really rough. So I like the switch up, setting Maokai to the top lane. Super brain dead tank. It's not that hard to execute. Very simple tank. That's all he does. You keep the Vi Zed. Now this combo right there, that's what I want One Brain Boys to use. Use the Vi Zed combo. If they press R on one target, that person is locked down, death marked, damage, dead. Use that with the winning bot lane that is Caitlyn Zyra. Let's get an early advantage. Leave Maokai to top lane. He's going to be fine. He'll just sit under tower. Let him and GP farm. Obviously, GP will be a problem because Simulacrum, I mess his name up all the time, is a tried and tested GP mate. He plays GP all the time. He has thousands and thousands of mastery on GP, so it will be scary to give him pretty much a free lane. But for One Brain Boys, obviously game one did not work at all. Change it up. Win lane, win game.
Absolutely, and I mean at this point you have to change something drastically. Obviously this is not the start to the season that the One Brain Boys would have wanted, because it is kind of a pretty difficult situation to be in. Right now, their only other win was actually against AOE Team 1, which, if I recall, taking a look at the standings here, is the other 1-7, at least previously to this week, 1-7 team in the league. So they definitely have an upward hill to climb, I would say, in the season so far. A lot of things that they are going to be hoping to figure out here as they continue to go forward. But it's still early in the season, and there's still a lot of things that can change with the dynamic of these teams. So, I know they're rooting for you, One Brain Boys. The underdogs got your back.
Yeah, and again, to change the narrative around a team, you just need one win at a time. You can't build a wall without laying the first brick. And I like that they've changed it up in game number 2. They said we can't just try to scale, because that's kind of what they tried to do in game number 1. They were like, let's just see how it goes if we just kind of do standard comp versus standard comp, and they got rolled. OGU just absolutely demolished them in the team fights, got super early lead with Udyr. This comp, again, is a little bit more unorthodox, but Vi Zed can always carry games. A lot of bot lane early game pressure. Vi Zed will have a lot of roam potential, and I just really like when teams, if it doesn't succeed in the game number 1, let's try something different.
Yep, and try something different is exactly what they have done here. It's going to be something else for us right now. So Adjustment actually going to be taking the Seraphine here as opposed to the Sup. So, interesting.
They might be running Karma.
Nope, I'm wrong. Yeah. No, I'm wrong. They swapped it. They swapped
it.
Yep, don't worry. I'm just getting baited. It's common occurrence sometimes when you're on the desk and you cast a couple games, you're feeling confident about where champions are going to go, and then you think it's going to go somewhere else. So anyway, with all that said, though, I'm very, very excited to see a Zed once again in some competitive play. Champion that you really don't see all that often, not anymore at least. Assassins, they have, to an extent, kind of fallen a little bit out of the meta. especially with all of these enchanters that are running around giving strong front lines and traditional AD carries a million shields and heals throughout the game. But, let's see what this Zed can do. It's going to be a challenge, I think, for sure. I mean, the Sivir can definitely kind of absorb a bit of that damage, especially when you have the Seraphine and the Karma that are going to be giving you massive shields and heals. But it's really going to come down to whether or not that Zed can actually break through that barrier.
Yeah, and I do like that Omega Gaming Unleashed did end up sending the Karma into the mid lane. The Seraphine matchup is definitely a lot harder because Seraphine is so susceptible to just getting dove by Zed-Fi and almost instantly burst. Karma is just a little bit tankier, especially with that Mantra W. Gonna be able to heal, gonna be able to shield herself, try to get out of these situations. But again, One Brain Boys, King's Entourage needs to set up a tent, a camp, a settlement, a town, a township, a city, a state, a country outside of mid lane.
A planet.
Planet, galaxy, solar system, whatever he needs to do.
Big
I
brain.
want him when he's level 6. I need on the way pings mid, and I want fighting. That's what One Brain Boys needs to do. They have skirmishing, and that's what they need to get the advantage, because we saw how in the scaling matchup, even though it was in game number 1, it didn't go their way, and I don't want to have another game where they're 3 kills to 0, but they're down like 5k gold, just due to laning phase. And so get spicy with it. You already picked a spicy pick. Let's turn the heat up to max, and let's have a banger of a game number 2.
Yep, absolutely. With that being said, we're going to flip it on over to break. So, ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere. We'll be back in a couple minutes here for game number 2 of set 6 of the Excellency Mid-League. Don't change that browser. We'll see you out there on Summoner's Rift. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the last game of the night. We've got Omega Gaming Unleashed there, and we've got One Brain Boys. Blue side and red sides, respectively. I'm the Idea PC, joined by the one, the only Mac Dewey here for color on the desk. And my friend, we have made it. We have made it to the promised land. Game 4 of the night. And I'm hoping it's going to be a banger.
Yeah,
And,
we've kind of.
I guess it already is. Flash.
That's
there
a
from
fun
Justin.
start. That's
Yeah.
a fun start there for the One Brain Boys. They're trying to turn things around against Omega Gaming Unleashed, Fallen Artemis. Gonna be trying to get some damage on to Nempo on the top lane. Maokai, interesting. No longer feels like it's been a while since we've seen him in a solo lane, but nevertheless, I'm sure still pointing. It's gonna be free Grasp of the Undying procs for Simulcrum all throughout the laning phase, so I expect this gangplank to be quite massive. But I'm wondering here, you guys talked about it quite a bit on the analyst desk heading into this game, just how spicy the One Brain Boys composition is. And that's kind of the one thing they promised to us coming into the season. They're like, you guys are going to want to watch our games. You guys aren't even going to be ready for what we pull out. Johnny Esports on the Xyrus support, Brett Sheeran, Zed in the mid lane. It's going to be tough going into a Karma. I don't know how many times you've tried to kill a Karma solo lane idea, but often it does not go well. You've got a lot of shields to go through, and because of that, Tech, I'd love to see a Serpent's Fang picked up into all these shields.
Absolutely, absolutely indeed. I did just want to mention out there, King's Entourage getting a fantastic leash there on his blue job. So, you know, clap there for Johnny Esports, doing his job as a support should do. Support his team and hopefully get this Vi maybe a little bit of a head start here. Even if it is only seconds against the Udyr,
Right.
You're going to definitely need it for a champion that clears so incredibly quickly.
Yeah, not only that, the clear speed, fantastic. The move speed, even better. If Fallen Artemis, as I'm sure, I didn't really keep track of it last game, but on the Udyr jungle pick, you're able to keep that monkey's agility going and just switch between the stances, more attack speed, more movement speed. It's pretty much like the budget version, I feel like, of the Yumi Zumis running around the map, and it's going to be a standard full clear. The junglers not going to be running into each other around these around the scuttle crabs, excuse me, and kind of as expected, Simulcrum, especially with the corrupting potion, is just going to have more resources than his lane opponent Nempo. Not a lot of healing. Same with Princeton. I love the corrupting potion pickup. He's going to have a lot of mana and a lot of
Looking
health
for the early
regen.
gank though. King's Entourage is going to be coming up here. Not sure if it's going to really force anything there. As,
Nope.
Just going to walk right back away. But
He's
Nempo
chilling.
pretty low up towards the top side of the map, and Gangplank is either going to be able to push this wave in to deny or continue to put Nempo to help this advantage. Or, yeah, I guess he's just going to go back down and war now. Perfectly fine there, though. But yeah, Simulcrum getting definitely what I would call an advantage up towards the top side here to start early. But wrapping around now is King's Entourage, still looking for this Karma. Could be a little bit hard to find, but she does have her flash and exhaust still available. But now towards the bottom side there's Fallen Artemis going to force out one flash, finding the stun onto Johnny Esports, and the flash follow up with that one. There it is, though. Bear slap to Shifu in the face. First blood going to go over to the jungler of Omega Gaming Unleashed.
Princeton able to flash away from the gank, and Omega Gaming Unleashed just can't find a way to lose. A huge gank there from Fallen Artemis. The flash bear slap is gonna do it to pick up a kill. Last game idea, it was the bot lane very much put into kind of this bubble where adjustment and the sub just dominated over Shifu and Johnny Esports. This time it's going to be a little different. Fallen Artemis getting that bot lane priority. Maybe some early dragons for the Udyr should be very easy, as well as an early plated steel caps. The upgraded boots coming in for Fallen Artemis, gonna be a big deal once again. Last game, it enabled him to just run rampant on the map, and it should be a very similar situation here in game number 2 as Princeton.
Yeah. I don't know if that's how that matchup's supposed to look like, but right now it's looking really, really favored here for this Karma to start things off. Going to be able to force Brett Sheeran out of lane here, pre-6, which I think is fantastic for him right now. Just going to be able to deny a little bit of that CS and all. And really, you're not getting a whole lot of usage out of the Ignite if you don't use it.
Exactly, and the opportunities are going to be few and far between. Princeton went exhaust on this Karma pick. He's ready for that level 6 point. I'm sure he's going to be... He might actually be going for a plated steel caps as well. Rip Ninja Tabbies forever in my heart. Will you be Ninja Tabbies? But not on stream. Mac has to remain professional and call items by their proper names. Nevertheless, Princeton, I really feel like maybe at the level 6 point when King Entourage is also got his ultimate available, also on the vibe, picking up a serrated Dirk. That's going to be interesting. You're going to need all that armor pen, I think, to take care of these pesky supports. It's going to be really hard to do so, though. And again, I'd love to see a Serpent's Fang Loki saw it pop off on some on some challenger builds, and in this exact situation when you're going up against compositions that are just flooded with Seraphine Karma, even the Udyr, it will work well against.
Well, talking about the Udyr there, yeah, he does find the jungler there, and King's Entourage in a little bit of trouble here. Bread Shear not quite able to get the kill onto Princeton's shields will be enough, but Fallen Optimus able to make that one stick. Gonna be able to find the kill there. His spiky shin shoes helping him out there. That's what I'm gonna call him. Giving him a little bit of that extra move speed to run down that Vi, and well, the prize there is gonna be the first dragon of the game. So Cloud Drake in their name.
It's a 2-level lead right now for the Udyr. Idea. We're only 7 minutes into this game, and it's a big diffy in the jiffy at the moment. Fallen Artemis having himself a series on this Udyr. Just like Acid, ban away these guys' junglers. They're clearly very good on the champions. It's okay to throw a ban at them and try to make them beat you with something different. Right now, Omega Gaming Unleashed, they're rinsing and repeating in just perfect fashion. Fallen Artemis gonna head up to the bottom side, the top side of the map, excuse me. He's got a blue buff. Oh wait, no, he's recalling JK. But Rift Herald is gonna be spawning shortly, and I expect him to be there.
Yep, absolutely. And you know, we had talked about this a little bit when Gunjin was with us.
Right.
You know, you're right now you're at a 2K gold lead at 7.5 minutes. You failed to ban away the Udyr, which you knew was going to be very, very strong. And if my memory serves me correctly, without alt-tabbing here, as I alt-tab, you know, One Brain Boys, they've banned away the Olaf. So if you're not going to play the Olaf, and you're not going to take that up, and you're not going to ban or play the Udyr, then why do you leave them on the table? That is really my biggest criticism, I would say, of the draft. I don't like to be hypercritical, but you know that these champions are so strong. They can generate leads completely on their own just by farming enough. And right now, that's exactly what we're seeing. 2 games in a row. Fallen Artemis just being able to kind of freely run around the map and find King's Entourage in his own jungle.
And because of that jungle advantage, here's what it leads into. You get pressure into the lanes. You give Princeton these blue buffs that you know he's going to just absolutely abuse, especially into a lane where he can just permanently shove it now and not worry about a thing.
But Fallen Artemis, they're going to be able to follow that one up. Going to force out the flash there as the ultimate will be used. Nature Scraps, not really going to be able to find a whole lot, but we'll find the disengage there. And yeah, the other thing is King's Entourage is kind of hovering off there on the Krugs. Always is an option, and Bread Sheeran even making up the roam from the mid lane here. Kind of just check on things, but might actually get sandwiched here. No, going to be able to shadow himself up and over the wall there as I'm casting from the mini map, but overall... You know.
Oh, here's Fallen Artemis again into the top lane.
Yep, gonna be looking for it, but King's Entourage there, ready and to follow behind. That's gonna be the Cannon Barrage coming on down, trying to put the damage down on Dempo. Can they find the kill here? Princeton will be the first mid laner here to roam. Simulacrum, though, dangerously getting low here. King's Entourage, though, gonna have to flash himself out, but it's not gonna be enough. That's gonna be the kill. Make it 1 for Simulacrum and 1 for this Udyr now. That's not exactly where you want to be right now if you're with One Brain Boys, and that's a 3-0-1 Udyr getting ready to take up that Rift Herald at 9.5 minutes.
Mega Gaming Unleashed in complete control right now. Fallen Artemis once again having himself a game. I do want to point out the early pickup of the Seeker's Arm Guard. Still, even in Season 11, the perfect first item against AD mids. And I think it's even better now in the new season in terms of gold value and the amount of armor you're able to pick up on it early if you're CSing in the mid lane there, which Princeton, like a beast, is just doing so well. Very interesting Essence Reaver early pickup by Simulacrum, or excuse me, Simulacrum, but a fight? Oh my goodness.
Oh, Johnny Esports there going to be knocked down to about 90 HP as Shifu just going to be taking auto after auto after auto here. We'll find the boomerang, and that's going to be a lot of damage on the bot lane here of this One Brain Boys composition. Adjustment and the sub playing to perfection towards the bottom side of the map. And I mean, you can tell right now that Silver Spell Shield definitely coming in handy here when it comes to not getting locked up and burst down by this One Brain Boys composition. Plates are going to go in their favor. They should be able to pick up 2, and that will go all to this Sivir. As Princeton now going all in here, looking for it now. Bread Sharon, though, going to get rooted up, going to take some lot of follow-on damage here. It's almost too bad Princeton does not have an Ignite.
Oh, the auto attacks.
The autos, I'm waiting for it.
Oh,
misses the Q.
My goodness.
That is a heartbreaker. That's a heartbreaker right there. The Q just barely going by the wayside. Oh, Princeton, you almost did it, my friend. You almost made history.
Yeah, I really want to try to see Bread Sheeran now that he knows the exhaust isn't available for this next fight. Deathmark, a much lower cooldown than that exhaust. Let's see if he's going to be able to get into a position to use that ultimate before exhaust comes back up. I also want to throw it back up to that Gangplank Essence Reaver first item because I just love it idea. It's exactly what Simulacrum could ever want in this lane against the Maokai. Mana, more damage on his Qs just to make the tree man hate himself a little bit more, and he's going to be able to push really hard all on his lonesome self into this Maokai. A huge CS lead already there, and Nempo, sure, get him into tower range. I'm not worried at all. Look at the Q coming through. More grass procs for Simulacrum. The armor's going to help a little bit. We might get a little action around this bot lane. King's Entourage now only a level down, slowly but surely making his way back into the game. Man, these top laners love to go at it, man.
Nature's Grasp going to come out, but Nempo in a little bit of trouble with the Cannon Barrage now. Parlay, one more will do it, but not going to be able to find that one right there. Simulacrum going to have to back it up and away here. Now, interestingly enough, I did want to mention, down towards the bottom side of the map, Shifu currently sitting almost at a 20 CS deficit here, and Seraphine actually has 10 more CS than the other support. So, I mean, you're almost looking at just combined 30 CS between these two. Princeton, actually, though, going to get jumped on by the Zeb, but he's going to get thrown right back out here. Fallen Artemis going to get spotted by King's Entourage doing the dragon, but he's not even going to be able to contest this one. Just another easy dragon in the hand of this OGU jungler.
It always feels bad on the Zed pick when you're having to W forward before you're able to ult, because it really just sets you up for kind of a poor attempt at getting the assassination off. And now Exhaust is going to be available, I think, the next time that Zed ultimate comes back online. It's going to be a little close, but I think Princeton will be safe enough for the cooldown to come back. Some more item completions. If you weren't aware, idea that's going to be happening a lot with this Omega Gaming Unleashed composition. The Turbo Chem Tank and the Moonstone Renewer, the dynamic first item duo, certainly worthy of mythic status because they're just going to help Princeton and Fallen Artemis so much as they look to continue taking over the game. A little bit, I feel like, slower paced, but this is kind of how Omega Gaming played the last game. Slowly but surely, just rotations there. And speaking of the Serpent's Fang, I called this out a little bit earlier. Red Sheeran's going for it first item. That's interesting. I'll be interested to see how it works. This is the first time I've actually seen it in game, even though, like, I called it out. I haven't seen how it works. It just seems like a good item, you know, into the shields and stuff. So I'm excited to see if suddenly the Zed's going to be doing just a brutal amount of damage, or if he's going to be able to get these executes off. Right now, One Brain Boys maybe have an opportunity to get back into this one in the top lane.
King's Entourage. Yeah, he's going to be able to find the knockup, but surprise, Fallen Artemis is there waiting, but they have too much damage for them to deal with it now. Nempo's still alive, King's Entourage as well, getting some passive healing going on now. Fallen Artemis in some trouble. Maybe they have bitten off a little bit more than they could chew. Nempo, though, will be able to follow that flag flash, but Fallen Armas, can he trade it?
Oh.
No, he cannot. Vi going to be able to get that one up here. And the question mark pings coming out here on the minimap from the One Brain Boys. The sub now also in a little bit of trouble here. But maybe it's Johnny Esports that might be the one in trouble. That's going to be the flash now, the exhaust, and that is going to be Johnny Esports going golden. Only maybe for what is a quick and swift death. Can the Sivir find it? Nice flash forward here, coming out from adjustment, and he'll be able to pick that one up nice and easy peasy from the bottom lane of OGU. Plays being made on the top side, plays being made on the bottom side, Mac Dewey, and both teams getting a little bit more.
I think the One Brain Boys need to try to opt in for the chaos, try to steer into the skid instead of trying to play Omega Gaming's game. How about Omega Gaming try to go into the realm of the One Brain Boys, try tossing around the decision making a little bit. I don't know if Omega Gaming is gonna tilt in quotes or kind of just succumb to kind of that solo queue play style, because through what we've seen so far in these games and overall throughout the season, this is a top team with big expectations. You talked about it earlier, Idea. This is kind of like the Mecha Godzilla for Memezilla and Glaive Kong. You've got Omega Gaming Unleashed, tailored and built different for tough to try to take on some of the top dogs here in the mid league. Glaive showing weakness here right now. It is Omega showing no weakness against the One Brand Boys. Meeting our expectations against this team is important because it shows how controlled and how thoughtful our mid league teams can be when they approach the rift, and when they want to be dominant, when they want to be clean, when they want to rotate beautifully. Right now, Omega Gaming giving us somewhat of a masterclass in how to play with this Udyr composition, and they're doing so really nicely. Before Udyr gets reworked, could maybe be a signature composition for this Omega that they ride into the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely, and seeing, that's going to be an interesting ultimate right there from the sub. Going to be going all the way back to the first Shadow clone of himself, and the sub actually kind of put dangerously low with that exchange of, I should say, damage coming out from Red Sheeran. Can't say I'm too surprised. Maybe that Serpent's Fang coming a little in handy, but Princeton now going to get locked up. Going to have to flash the ultimate there from Johnny Esports, just barely making it out in time from the Stranglehorns. But still, nicely done. Not terrible. It's not terrible on Karma. You know, she can be pretty fast and elusive. The exhaust will be up here shortly. That's going to be Rift Herald drop down here into the mid lane, as they're going to be looking to try and knock down their second tower of the game and slowly kind of encroach on the front lines of this One Brain Boy squad.
They were thinking Dragon. They might get a fight, though, around the mid lane.
Yep, there it is right now. The Wild. Oh, that's the damage. That's the damage. There it is. Cannon Barrage coming down. That's going to be Nempo all charmed up, all rooted up, stunned up, and he's going to go down. King's Entourage now having to run for his life. Shifu setting down the traps, trying to give his team the way out. And that's going to be a Scuttle Crab picked up. Mountain Dragon now, though, on the table. No top laner in sight for the One Brain Boys. And whoa, ladies and gentlemen, you blink, you missed it there. Johnny Esports goes pop. And that's one dead Zyra. 2-4-0 so far in favor of OGU, as Brad Sheeran also kind of playing a little bit with death there in his hands.
Yeah, fortunately for him, Simulcrum flashing onto the secret Shifu Caitlyn trap in the bush that he wasn't expecting. Brad Sheeran on this Zed. There's got to be better target selection overall from the side of One Brain Boys. We saw the One Brain in action on the Maokai there. Daddy Nempo wanted to make a play happen, but where was the follow-up? Where was the Zyra Stranglethorns, the assault and battery onto the backline? There just wasn't any of it. It was just the Nature's Grass coming in, and it kind of fell short.
I have a theory, Mac.
Okay.
Right?
I'll hear you out. All right.
Okay. OGU has not limited themselves to using only one brain. Therefore, the One Brain Boys are only using 20% of their combined 5 people's brain power.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they just need to use more than one brain.
Interesting theorem. Interesting. We'll have to put that one into practice.
I'm
and
just
see-
saying, like, you're the one brain boys, right? What
Right.
what if you became the two brain boys? Now you're using
that's
100%
just
more of your brain power, like combined brain power.
That's everyone using 40%. That's just that could be exponential at this point. Or maybe I think it's just linear low-key, but nevertheless, King's Entourage going to be trying to clear out some vision in the top lane. Look at Fallen Artemis. He's ready to support the bot lane there. Sneaky Bush jungler ready for the worst case scenario, and really well done here. Simulcrum in the bot lane, right where he needs to be, setting up that split push, has teleport available, has cannon barrage available, and again, the lane assignments is really what has helped Omega Gaming. It's where they base. It's beautiful. It's like real League of Legends we're seeing here. Lane assignments leading to proactive plays like this. Fallen Artemis meeting Nempo right where he doesn't expect him.
That's going to be the ultimate for the disengage right there, but Nempo's still kind of low there. King's Entourage here waiting for support. Going to be up to flash out, though, to avoid any further follow-up damage, and it is really kind of scary now. Your health bars are a little bit low. The tower is not in a healthy spot. Seraphine, huge, massive combo to root them all up under tower. That's going to be one for this Fallen Artemis on the Udyr now, trying to make it two. That's going to be the double kill for the Udyr. And ladies and gentlemen, Fallen Artemis making him 5-1-2 on this champion. Shifu now in some trouble, going to get slowed down, and Artemis not quite there. Does not have the chem tank cooled down available just quite yet.
I don't know if you noticed there's like a slight spell shield there from the Sivir to snag the ace in the hole. Adjustment in complete control of his champion. Aware of what's going on. Really well played overall. And again, we see Omega Gaming Unleashed making the numbers play. You know, that's just fat numbers advantage in the top lane. 3-2. You've got the Udyr Seraphine combination working like a well-oiled Ford machine. This composition is built tough. You gotta match toughness with toughness, I think. Maybe look for a big 5v5. You've got the Leandri's Anguish now completed onto Johnny, but I wonder if it's too late idea, because looking at these item completions, looking at these big power spikes, it's Season 11, baby. Everyone's caring about items. And for good reason, because you've got the Staff of the Flowing Water now onto Princeton, who's got a level on. The Zed is going to be able to start this fight.
Oh, yep, that's it right there. Nicely done to be able to avoid the root, but that's going to be adjustment just way too fast. Stranglehorn's, though, going to knock him up, but there is just not enough follow damage to be able to make anything happen from the King's Entourage. The flash coming out now. That's going to be the double kill now here for the Sabres. Fallen Artemis is running wild throughout the back line of this one Brain Boys composition. Triple kill here for adjustment in the mid lane, trying to make it a fourth one there on the Johnny Esports, but what a play. And the balls on this jungler, let me tell you, they are huge. Fallen Artemis just running away with it. He is absolutely saying, this is the play that I've got to make, this is when I'm going to make it, and Baron is now the call.
Baron Nashor going to be melted by this. And look at the health bars idea. Not a worry at all. They're back to full. Mountain Soul now potentially spawning in 5 seconds. Simulcrum already there for the next objective. Omega Gaming Unleashed this week, looking to make their way into the conversation of one of the top teams in mid-league. They're just icing the cake at this point. They've got the power spikes. They've got the gold lead. It's 13,000. We're not even 25 minutes into the game. Fallen Artemis can just run as he pleases.
Yep.
It's Dr. Deer reporting. He's got hell of a complication.
Here he goes. King's Entourage, though, into the back line there, but it's just not enough. He's going to get burst down. Adjustment just way too strong right now. Sitting on 2 completed items, and it'll be F Sword. Fallen Artemis, though, still running now. Stranglehorn's going to be eventually what brings him back to the level of sanity. He's just so far ahead. Shifu there with the ace in the hole, just trying to throw it on out there. Fallen Artemis making everyone run. Everyone is afraid of this champion. You do not want to get caught up and rooted up, because adjustment will be right there to follow you. I really, really love the synergy actually here. Johnny
Oh, my
Esports just
goodness.
absolutely done. Gale Force able to lock that one up nice and easy. The tier 2 in the mid lane now will fall, and Omega Gaming Unleashed still playing absolutely beautifully. Adjustment here, gonna have to back a little farther away, but Nempo might be a little too bloodthirsty now. The Udyr is behind him. Could bell some trouble for the top laner here for the One Brain boys. Adjustment just has it in his pockets, gonna heal right back on up, and Simulcrum now finding the Zed ultimate on his hand. Fallen Artemis, though, once again running from one fight to the other, to another, to the next, and that's going to be the kill going on over. Adjustment now legendary, 9-0-4. This Omega Gaming Unleashed flashing through the base of the One Brain boys, trying to find all the kills and take everything for themselves. Baroned up and minions now pouring in through the bottom side of the base. Health bar is pretty low here from the One Brain boys. That's going to be at least the inhibitor given away here as they start to rotate over towards the mid lane, trying to push in a second tower and inhibitor. Mac, Dewey, Omega Gaming Unleashed, they've just got so much going on over the time. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
The base is being broken. One Brain boys down a lot of gold. Baron Nashor's still up. I'm kind of surprised to see Omega Gaming back, but I respect it. You know, wanting to close out the game cleanly, completely understandable. You've got some more item power spikes. Welcome to another edition of Mackin and item power spikes. We've got Infinity Edges coming online, and that's just going to be brutal. Right now, the One Brain boys, they don't have a lot of work with. 2 inhibitors down. One more inhibitor to try to defend. Shields galore. One Serpent's Fang on the Zed isn't really going to do it.
Well, I mean, they have 2 pushing lanes. Into them. Faster gold. Faster experience.
This isn't your LS inhibitor here. Idea. This isn't going to be an extended match. As we approach the 28-minute mark, we're getting to the 20k gold lead segment. I didn't think I'd see that.
Yeah,
ever.
you know, I did my thing again where, you know, I watched for that gold, that
Right.
total team gold at about 21, 22, 23 minutes.
Mhm.
Once again, Omega Gaming Unleashed sitting there at 41k gold at that
Oh,
23
this
minute
could
mark.
be it.
Nempo. Yep, Nempo just barely able to get away thanks to the Stranglehorns there, but now King's Entourage onto the back line, but he's got no help inside. He's going to go down real quickly. Fallen Artemis flashing off into the base here. Now Shifu will be next. That's going to be 2 kills now for the Sivir. Adjustment really running away. That's going to be the 3rd inhibitor down. There's going to be no Baron buff needed to end this one out. All 5 members of Omega Gaming Unleashed ready to rock, ready to roll, and Nepo is the last one here underneath the tower. Red Sheeran coming back from the bottom side of the map, trying to clear out these waves, but he's going to get locked and stunned up. And that's going to be Nempo going down, falling to the gangplank now, 3-1 and 9. Nexus turrets are all but gone. Nexus itself ready to fall. And ladies and gentlemen, in a dominating 2-0 sweep, Omega Gaming Unleashed makes this one heck of a week for them. They're going to be able to clap this one out, and One Brain boys going to fall here in game number 2.
Looks good to me, Idea. Looks pretty good to me. Udyr here to stay. A brutal showing here from Omega, just how good it can be for some of these teams that are able to control the macro, control the solo lanes in order to try to generate those advantages
Yep.
for a jungler like Udyr. And even talking outside of those solo lanes, it was Fallen Artemis who started in the bot lane. He was able to find a kill, ganking a Sivir Seraph lane? Hello, this dude's insane. He pulled off quite a special, but kudos to the bot lane as well. 11-0-6 Sivir. Adjustment was making some crazy Gale Force plays throughout that match, and the sub on Seraphine. There were some critical Seraphine ultimates that, if they didn't hit, maybe a bit of a different game. Still, just icing on the cake for this squad. Omega Gaming Unleashed. I think they made Papa Ivar proud in this one.
Yes, no, absolutely. I do want to give a quick shout out there. If you have not already joined us at Discord, there will be an I believe it is and Jake can correct me on this if I'm wrong, a $10 RP giveaway that will be going on in the Excellency Discord server. So if you have not already, please join us down there. The link is below in the description of the Twitch channel here. Please join us there for that giveaway. But I mean, you're absolutely right, Mac Dewey. Omega Gaming Unleashed, really, really, really looking strong here. Fallen Artemis being, kind of the enabler for this entire team. An adjustment here in game number 2, following up so cleanly with every single engage, was able to be there with Fallen Artemis every single step of the way, racking up kills, make it 11 and 0 and 6 this game. I mean, just a stellar performance.
Yeah, and that's going to be quite a sweet taste of victory in the mouths of Omega Gaming as they look to continue trying to climb the standings. That's going to put them very nicely in the conversation. I feel like comfortably in the playoff conversation. In overall, moving forward, I mean, the team may be finding their footing in this new season. New items coming through. It's been, I feel like, a struggle for some teams to find out which new champs, which new builds are going to be working best for them. But Omega Gaming, they've got it going on, man. This is a fun team to watch.
Yeah, they absolutely are. They really are. Having been able to cast for this team before, when they were in their upsurge playoffs, they made a pretty deep run up against some really, really great teams, and they may have had a rocky start, maybe per se. But all in all, I think it's time to hear from our analyst desk. So, Gunjin, good sir, if you would like to give us your thoughts here on game number 2.